What's up, YouTube? It's Callista. As you can see, that mess behind me since 3 days ago has not been cleaned up. And I'm just going to go over the stuff that I said I would make another video about, which is the insurance stuff and my restrictions, my stats, all of that, with the surgery. So let's get right into it. Basically, I'm going in for VSG, which is vertical sleeve gastrectomy, and essentially what is done with this surgery is your stomach is taken from the size of a football and it's made into like the size of a banana. And what they do is they put titanium staples in your stomach, and they cut off a big part of your stomach and they remove it from your body, and it is gone forever. And the staples stay in your stomach forever. They are basically now the lining of your stomach, and obviously it'll heal, but initially with the surgery, that's what happens. Also, the whole deal with this is that your stomach, because it's not the size that it used to be, it doesn't produce as much acid, it doesn't churn, so you're not really hungry. So why I chose to do that versus lap band or bypass. Bypass is a very simple answer. My doctor didn't think that I was as big as he would have wanted somebody to be in order to have a bypass surgery. And also I have somebody in my family who had this done. She has been very sick since she got it done, and she had it done about 6 years ago, and to this day says that she regrets having the surgery. So I've opted not to do that. As far as the lap band goes, I initially went in to see the surgeon about the lap band, and the issues that he says that present themselves that he is not interested in having me have the surgery for. Basically, the band sits at the top of your stomach, and what can happen is as you lose weight, sometimes the band can slip down, and it will cut off, sometimes it'll cut off blood supply to your stomach. And it causes a lot of issues there. Then they have to surgically go back in, replace it, like put it back up where it needs to be. There's also issues with the port, and the port is basically, it's like the size of a quarter, and it's a little thing that sits up right underneath your skin, and on one side of it it's like a gummy, rubbery substance, and on the other side it's metal. Well, the gummy substance has to sit up against where your skin is because they use syringes to inject and remove fluid to the band to make it tighter and looser as needed. And basically what will happen is if that port flips around and the metal part is up against your skin, they can't inject or remove fluid, so they have to surgically go back in and flip it back around. And one of the reasons that my surgeon was not interested in that is because that's 2 more opportunities that they could have to put me under and put me back into surgery. Another thing is, with a lot of weight loss surgeries, after weight loss surgery, because people do lose drastic amounts of weight, I mean, they're not just losing 15 pounds. People are losing, 70, 80, 90, 100 pounds, sometimes, 120, 150 pounds. It all depends. And your skin starts to hang. So you go in and you get revision surgeries, and you have, or not revision, I'm sorry, reconstructive surgeries, and sometimes those come along with revisions, but yeah. And you go in and your neck is hanging, so you get your neck picked up, or very commonly it's tummy tucks and breast augmentations. Sometimes it's getting the skin that's left over, what I like to call upside down muscles, and sometimes excuse me, they work on that. So I mean, you're being knocked out for those surgeries. So he didn't want me to be put under more than I need to, especially if I'd like to have an optional surgery such as something cosmetic later on down the road. One of the big reasons that I chose to have surgery, obviously weight loss, but the big reason is my heart. I have a heart condition. It's called the transposition of the great vessels. And this is also part of the reason he doesn't want me to have to go under the knife multiple times. With my heart condition, it's transposition of the great vessels. Statistically, via Wikipedia, babies that are born with this condition, if they're not treated within weeks of being diagnosed, they will end up having like a 50% mortality rate, and then if within months they're not treated, it's 90%. So I think it's total crap, because let me just show you. I don't know if you can see this. I've never had my chest cut open. I've never had any sort of corrective surgery on my heart, and I have also never had, I've never been on medication. So I don't believe everything you read. I've made it 27 years, and I've never had issues up until recently, and that is mainly because when I got into like being a freshman in high school, I was a little bit bigger than the other girls, but I was never like big. Like I was able to share clothes with my friends and stuff, so I was never like, oh man, she's obnoxiously big. But to me, because I weighed, 10 or 15 pounds more than my friends, I was a hippo. And I started stealing Metabolife from my mom, and because she wasn't addicted to it, and she just had it, she didn't notice that it was missing. So, I did that, and then I got into like the mainstream, hydroxycut, not Metabolife, I just said that, hydroxycut, Xenadrin, things that are just basically over the counter. And then before ephedra got banned, I was able to get my hands on that, so I started taking pure ephedra, which was obnoxious. I should have never done that. And then when I got into like college and I was doing my prereqs for nursing, I went and I saw this doctor. He was a quack, a total quack. He should have known better, and I'm not putting all the blame on him, because obviously I went to see him, but he prescribed me phentermine, and as a result of years of doing this to my body, my heart began to enlarge. So currently my heart is larger than it needs to be, and yeah, I mean, it also completely bottomed out my metabolism. I have almost no metabolism now, because my body over years became dependent on these weight loss pills, and that became my metabolism. So part of my issue is that I no longer have a metabolism either, and now it's gotten to the point of having to do something as drastic as surgery, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So now I'm going to get into my insurance. I have Blue Cross Blue Shield, HMO. I could have picked with the company that I work for. It's a large dialysis company throughout the U.S., Canada, parts of Asia. We're pretty large. I could have picked, they're all Blue Cross Blue Shield. I could have picked HMO, PPO, or HMO of Illinois. I'm in Illinois. I'm in Chicago. So those are my three options. And I picked a Blue Cross Blue Shield regular HMO because I already knew that my primary care physician accepted it. So I wanted to be able to go back to her, but I didn't want to get robbed by the insurance companies for deductibles and stuff. And with the PPO, that would have happened because I get sick like twice a year. So, and it ends up being pretty bad. So I went with Blue Cross Blue Shield HMO. Now, I can tell you this. If you work for a company that's large, like Jewel, another entity that owns Jewel is Super Value. If you go and you work for a company like that, and I believe like Dominic's, which is like a food store, certain companies will cover bariatric surgery, but it's to my understanding some won't. Like I believe Walmart, I could be wrong, but I believe Walmart is one of the companies that does not cover any sort of bariatric surgery. They have good benefits, but they won't pay for you to have, even if it's life-saving, they won't pay for you to have that kind of a surgery. So, I mean, you could have the same insurance, you could have Blue Cross Blue Shield HMO, but if you live in Texas somewhere, your requirement, or like what they allow you to have, could be different. Now, I know that for Jewel, like their PPO, my best friend works for Jewel, which is Super Value. He works for them, and he has a PPO, and they actually have very similar requirements to what I have to do for him to have the surgery. because he's actually looking into it as well. So I'm just going to go down how this works. My PCPs referred me to my surgeon. My surgeon then had to send me to a dietitian. I have to go see her twice. I've touched base with her, but I haven't seen her yet. I also had to quit smoking, so I just want to show you. That's when I went in, the 13th. This is all the blood work they want me to do. But this is when I went in, the 13th of March, and they told me I had to quit smoking. And I had just opened a pack of cigarettes that morning, so I smoked like 2 or 3 cigarettes, and then I went in, and he told me I had to quit smoking. And I left, and I smoked a cigarette. And this is what's left from that pack. And I know a lot of you are like, why do you still have them? Because that's my reminder that I cannot smoke, because I have to stop. Also, I had issues where recently when I went into the doctor, between my smoking and my pneumonia, little parts, like little bits, not a whole lot, but little bits of my lungs, little air sacs have closed off. They've collapsed because of the damage that's been done to them over the past, roughly 10 years. I started smoking when I was like 17, 18. So I went from that to my electric cigarette. Now my electric cigarette, it has these little cartridge thingies. You take one off. When you're done, put the next one on. Ta-da! And you smoke. But, I mean, I'm showing it to you guys because it's interesting if you need to quit smoking cigarettes. But initially it'll leave your throat a little bit raw because you have to inhale a lot harder than with a traditional cigarette. But I'm not even really using it. I started using it again, like I said, March 13th when I had to quit smoking. And it's now the 20th of May, and I'm not doing anything. And yeah, I've gained a little bit of weight, but whatever. I mean, my lungs aren't going to fucking collapse on me, so whatever. So I had to do that. I had to quit smoking. I had to see the dietitian. I have to do a 3-month followed diet. It has to be like Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, Nutrisystem, MetaFast, something. I chose to do Weight Watchers online and just kind of follow how many points I'm allowed to have in the day and then track all my food, and yeah, it works for me. So I also had to go see my cardiologist. Now he's the man who's going to say yes I can do it, no I can't. So I went and I saw him. He's sending me for like this $6,000 test that is like an MRI, and it's going to show the exact setup of my heart, exactly how the anatomy of my heart is set up, because no cardiologist has ever seen that on me. They know that I have this issue, but they've never actually looked at it MRI style, so they're going to do that. I also have to do a psych eval, which is going to let them know that I don't any longer have issues such as bulimia, which I had in high school, and they have to make sure that there's no signs of like psychosis or anything that could interrupt the success of the surgery. Other requirements that I had by my insurance, I have to be covered for 1 year under my insurance plan. 1 year will be December 17th of this year, because my insurance kicked in December 17th of 2012. Again, that 3-month history, and then of the diet, and then also I have to have a BMI of 35 or greater, and I'm at like 39 or 40 right now, so I'm still in the clear to be able to get the surgery. I'm 5'3", 240 pounds. So yeah, my plans for weight loss, like to stay fit afterward and before I go in for surgery. I'm gonna juice maybe once or twice a day, which is like just fresh fruits, fresh vegetables with a juicer, whatever. It's okay. I'm pretty satisfied with it. I'm also gonna do the treadmill, because when you walk, your joints should do that, and like if I go on an elliptical, that's what your joints do. So I don't want to do anything that's not a natural movement, so the treadmill it is. I also hula hoop, and I like belly dancing, so I'm going to do those things. So I think that's about it. If there's anything else, you guys can leave me questions, stuff like that. Thanks a lot. I'll wrap to you guys later.